one is the way in which the Ministry of Education in Germany focuses about the development of languages for students, but for teachers too. Because if they have to teach their own topics, their own subject, they have to teach in English too. So that it is the Ministry of Education which gave the directions that the teachers have to follow to be teachers. That's the first thing which is different from Spain. But the two countries, from what we have seen in these two meetings, is that both on local level, our provveditorato di studi is the same thing, or on as Ministry of the Education, it's the system which is really different from our. Because while when we went in Huelva the first time, we came to know that it is the local administration, so the provveditorato, which gives each year the direction, because they have many departments related to primary schools, secondary schools, and in each field there are sections which are dedicated. For example, we have met the one dedicated only to languages and the spreading of bilingual lessons in schools. But in Germany, I didn't come, my colleagues did, but they said us that they have seen the students have a different way of coping with the lessons every day. That is what Ulla said. I was surprised to see their way of teaching, which is really different from ours, because we now have teacher, students, only this. There isn't the sharing in which the students are the real protagonists of their learning, which should be the main aim of teaching, whatever subject we are talking about, I think. So I hope that Ulla presentation and Ulla talking should be of help for each one of us, because we have the tools in Italy too, but we have to understand how to use them. Because it isn't the only problem, because CLIL is a badge we have in our lives, in our school lives, okay? But it should become a way of teaching normally, not because we are forced by law in Italy, because the Ministry of Education said we have to do CLIL on the 5th year, and we have to do. No, it isn't so. CLIL isn't it. I think it is something more close to what Ulla shows us, method, only this, which is something we can, surely we have to learn, but I think we have many tools now. It isn't like 5 years ago or 6 years ago for us in Italy. So I think it is a way in which we have to change our mind about teaching. Do you agree, Corrado? More or less. More or less.
I think the most. Sorry.
He is a teacher of English.
I teach English, right? And I also teach for the teachers who want to start with CLIL education, right? So the point being today is maybe I want to talk about my country, that our country tries to do the things which are suggested before. So I'm a European community. So they say, you have to teach English. That's right, you teach English. But if we have a person who is 50 years old, how can you learn English? He doesn't know even a word in English. That's the main point. First point. And another point is that when you teach CLIL, you have to change your mind. You don't have to teach English, just English, because some people confused, don't understand that the main point is to change our way of teaching, even in our subject. That's the main point. So when you want to change
The
So
fact that
this is
we
the
are,
main point, and I would like you to go exactly this point here.
Can I say something, please?
Because you could say things about the way the school system is organized. Okay, that's fine.
I think the most important point is that years when the students learn English, you have to show them, or you have to present to them a mixture of language learning and topics that interest them. And you have to walk through the world with open eyes. Our textbooks reflect that. We start with a family in one British town. In the old days it was Bristol, now they have changed to Bournemouth, and they always have some pet that guides them. Then it was a parrot, now it's a seal, because they have this huge water park. And they walk on very quickly to other parts of Great Britain, and then they walk on to Ireland and to the United States, and then they open up the world of the British Commonwealth. But you are always free to choose other material. You are always free to choose any kind of textbook, any kind of literature, small books, to add to the topic, and to try role plays, to make them talk. And one of my professors used to say, if you use one method for longer than 10 to maximum 15 minutes, your students will be bored out of their minds. Yeah. And this is what we really have to respect. So we change methods in lessons very often. And really, and Angela will support this, I think, we make students work on their own, where we are just supervisors, where we walk from group to group, ask questions, interview the students, talk to them, find out what interests them. And as you can see from us here, you give 4 people the same task. They will come up with completely different ideas, and this is what is really appreciated in the German school system, right?
that's what we have to do.
And this is what we really need to do. Yeah.
Come in. It's impossible. We have only 3 years. Absolutely not.
Students have C1 and you don't. And the second problem is the fact that they forced us to teach.
What did you say? What I said before. That's what I said
English,
before.
but only at the 5th year, the 5th grade.
Yeah.
And it is not possible. So what we should do is to start teaching even before. And yes, as you all do.
Yeah. I even know university professors who teach English literature at university whose English is below B1.
So it's a shared
No, I
problem.
taught at university for many years, went to many international conferences, and the Italians were always the worst in English. I'm sorry.
some point, I think.
And even with the Brexit, English will remain the most important language, even if maybe it will no longer be an official language for the European Union. Maybe it will be replaced by German. We don't know yet. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Okay. It will, of course, be Spanish or Italian. Yes, I know. But English is used. English is used all over the world. No matter which science, which engineering project, which whatever topic or subject the students study afterwards, they will have to read English texts. They will have to go abroad to English-speaking countries. Any conference will be held in English, so they have to be fluent. And they have to be understood. Maria Garcia.
Does the Minister of Education change every year your topics or not?
No, but we are free. We are free to. Yeah, no, we are free to fill general topics in the final 2 years with what we want to choose. We start with the American Dream in year 11. So we have to fill this with basic information. We read the Declaration of Independence with them. We read basic material with them. And then we are free to say, okay, whatever interests us. For example, the shootings. Yeah, right? Of course, we do have to do Shakespeare.
Have you copied?
I don't think so. And we do all those general topics, and the students are supplied with a lot of information from all those different subjects that they have to do. And they can always bring in this information, and we ask for it. You know, they don't have to hang at our lips and read from them, but we always say, give us your information. We're happy to have as much as we can, and we're always eager to learn too. And we are very free to add material to the necessary one.
There's nothing.
Have you?
Where is your topic?
It's on the
Please, would you take there?
I tried to copy it on the desktop.
Do you have any other question for Ulla, or can we go on? We should say many things. Do you agree?
Deleted?
Quindi quello che
It's gone.
secondo me ci portiamo oggi è il fatto che in primo luogo
It's
I
gone.
think you wrongly
dovremmo
sent to the
cambiare il
archive.
nostro modo di
Let's check it out.
fare scuola
It can be here
e poi
somewhere.
pensare a CLIL, perché è un processo lungo, non ci è calato, a noi è stato calato come diciamo Ministero della Pubblica Istruzione, avremmo avuto circa 5-6 anni per adattarci. È ovvio che
But they're
non saremo
organized
mai
in an
nessuno a vedere
alphabetical way. I'll send it to her from
questo è
home.
ovvio.
Okay.
Però quello che in primis
I think
deve
it's
cambiare è la forma mentis, il modo in cui ci approcciamo al nostro insegnamento quotidiano, perché è la prima cosa, perché non è il corso di inglese per i docenti B1, B2, C1, che è itinerario, che è alzata, ed è un percorso lungo comunque, che non si esaurisce solo in 3 anni di corsi B1, B2 o C1, puoi anche essere certificato in C1, ma ti puoi fare tutti i corsi metodologici che vuoi all'università, ma se non cambia la nostra forma mentis che acquisiamo come nostro il modo di pensare il nostro insegnamento, io penso che falleremo sempre, perché non è che il fatto, come diceva il professore Leandri, che noi siamo docenti di lingua inglese è automaticamente normale che noi siamo docenti CLIL, noi non lo siamo, anche se la legislazione si è completamente dimenticata di noi, perché ha presupposto che noi siamo il supporto linguistico dei docenti che fanno informazione, ma noi non siamo docenti. famose norme ministeriali che sono rimaste quella postilla. Se tu non hai docenti attrezzati per essere CLIL, puoi fare il modulo interdisciplinare. Che non è la stessa cosa. Ok, questa è una piccola. Ahmet will introduce CLIL method in Turkey, and then we will have Vincenzo. We will talk with us about the method, or something like that. I think.
In your area, huh?
In your yes.
Okay. Good morning again. I'm here to talk about the CLIL methodology in Turkey. And first, before starting my presentation, I would like to give you information about these kind of projects. I am a member of this school as an English teacher, but at the same time I work for European Commission, connecting with them. And I know that the European Commission gives much more importance to the projects related to CLIL methodology. So for us as European Commission, this seminar is very important, and we will get some feedbacks in the end of this seminar to prepare some extra materials for the future, for the Erasmus calls, and we will get some notes. So I'm going to talk about the CLIL methodology in Turkey, but I would like to say that when I was in high school, I am one of the students who grew up with CLIL methodology in high school, and I can easily share my feelings and the bad points and the good points of CLIL methodology in high schools. And I would like to tell you that if we are talking about the CLIL methodology in Turkey, we have to divide CLIL methodology into two parts of time period. The CLIL in 19th and the CLIL today in Turkey. But CLIL in high schools, we say lise in Turkey, and past and now. Before the CLIL methodology usage in Turkey, we have to give you some extra information about how to go to a high school in Turkey, because it depends on your primary school level. In the end of the primary education, after 8 years, all students in Turkey must take a national exam. You know, this is controlled by the government as a rule, you know, by Ministry of Education. So according to the exam point, you choose your high school to go to attend. And there are some high school types in Turkey. Science high schools, after the exam, according to your point, these science high schools are the schools which are very popular, but they need high exam point. Anatolian high schools, for example, my school is one of them, Anatolian high schools. High exam point also needed to be able to attend these schools. Social sciences high schools are average point is enough to be able to attend these kind of schools. Fine arts high schools, sports high schools, these are also average point enough. And also you have to get extra aptitude test to show your talent. And also the last kinds of high schools in Turkey are vocational training high schools. For these kind of schools, you don't have to need for high exam points. You just go there, for example, like the vocational training high schools, some jobs like accounting, instruction technologies, nursing, electronic high schools. And also now the last schools are private high schools. Because I wrote here, because now at the moment in Turkey, only private high schools use CLIL methodology in their schools. And why did I give you this kind of schools types? Because in the past, in 90s, CLIL methodology was used only in science schools and Anatolian high schools, which need high exam points. In Anatolian and science schools in 90s, students used to have 1 year foreign languages preparatory class before starting the high school. You must go to prep class to learn English for 1 year. In these prep classes, no extra lessons on English or German or Italian or Spanish, I don't know which the school chooses. You have to learn that foreign language for 1 year. No Turkish, no math, no geography, nothing else. For 1 year, 24 hours a week, you have English lessons. and art lessons, physical education lessons, and music lessons. That's all. It was very comfortable because I was one of them. And then after finishing prep class, you attend 9th, 10th, and 11th class. 11th is the final class in the past, and then you graduate from high school. After prep class, after you show that you learned English, you attend 9th class, and in 9th class, CLIL methodology was being used only in mathematics, biology, chemistry, and physics lessons. This was obligation. The teacher was in English speaking, the exams were English, everything, the books were in English. I say English because English was very popular. Some schools chooses German, some schools chooses, I don't know, but if they want, Russian, Chinese, doesn't matter. And you have to speak English. For example, in break times, when you see your teacher, if you go to his or her office, you have to speak English with them. Yes, this is very powerful CLIL methodology. It was something obligation, compulsory, you know. So English was used in most schools for CLIL, and all lessons plans were prepared according to CLIL methodology. CLIL for these lessons were obligatory, as I stated before, at that time by Ministry of Education. There were many discussions at that time in Turkey. This was a very helpful method. No, this wasn't a very helpful method because the students want to learn maths, biology, physics, and chemistry in their native language. It was something discussion about nationalism, you know. Some people say, no, we have to teach them in English. No, we have to teach them in Turkish. And I learned them in English. And also, in that time, teachers of mathematics, biology, chemistry, and physics were bilingual. And many teachers were taken to foreign language courses to enforce their linguistic skills, rehabilitation courses. And at that time, course books, exams, lessons, all materials in foreign language and designed according to CLIL methodology. And also, however, in early of 2000, this system was given up because of the discussions, because of the complaints. Many authorities complained about it. But if you ask me about feedback, normally, yes, it was very difficult, you know, to communicate with the student, with the teacher. If you have enough English, you can always be back of the class. You know, you cannot understand it completely because it wasn't try, it was obligation. You have to learn. For example, in Turkey, in the end of high school, you have an university exam. It is obligation. If you want to go to a university, you have to take university exam. It is a national exam. So, for example, if you want to be an engineer or a doctor in the future, you have to learn mathematics, chemistry, physics, and biology very well, and you have to pass this exam by means of solving the test. But you learn them in English. And so you have some difficulties. The books coming from United States, the books coming from England, and they don't regard your level of English. They prepare just some books in English, and the teachers speak in English, and you feel like that you are in a high school in Britain. Yeah. You know, nobody's speaking Turkish. You are in the class and you have to speak English. For learning English and for improving your English and also for further education, it was good. For example, for me, I learned all technical terms because of the lessons. But if you want to be, for example, I'm an English teacher, so it was very helpful for me. But if I hadn't become an English teacher, if I had chosen chemistry or becoming a doctor, I think I was about to lose the national exam of university. Because many of my friends said that 1 year prep class, 1 year everything in English, 2 years left. And I need to learn the information that are going to be asked in national university exam. I have to be back. I have to be back all the time to revise all the topics. So the Ministry of Education suddenly stopped in 1 year that, okay, now we stop this kind of system. Now all those lessons were started to be taught in Turkish. English was just optional as a language teaching lesson. And now CLIL, today in Turkey. Today in Turkey, CLIL methodology is used, applied by only some popular private schools. We call them colleges. In governmental schools like my school, we don't use CLIL methodology as an obligation. We just use CLIL methodology as an extra exercises. In governmental schools, you cannot now at the moment, on the contrary of the past, you cannot give marks to the students, you cannot evaluate them. If you choose CLIL methodology, you have to prepare extracurricular program after school, maybe at the weekends, or maybe in break times. Just try. You cannot force students to go inside to the classroom in different language. So now it is just optional. But if you go to the private school, colleges, they are using CLIL methodology, and they use CLIL methodology like, how do you say, like advertisements, you know. We use CLIL methodology in language teaching. You can send your children to our school. We give the best education for foreign language teaching in our college, something like that. So, for governmental schools, those who want to include CLIL in school system generally cooperate with those private colleges. If we need extra help or extra materials for CLIL tryings, we cooperate with these colleges who have some extra materials about CLIL methodology. And also private schools who apply CLIL use this methodology in both primary and high school levels. In the past, when it was obligatory in Turkey, only high schools and the 9th class was obligation for CLIL methodology. But now, today in Turkey, the schools, especially the private schools, use this methodology in both primary schools, some schools use it in preschools, in kindergartens, and also in high school levels. They often prefer English as a second language, but I know some private schools who use German and also Russian for the second language while using CLIL methodology. And also what is interesting is that these private schools who use CLIL methodology usually cooperate with foreign publishments such as Pearson, Oxford, you know, Cambridge. They cooperate with these companies and they get extracurricular CLIL methodology materials from different countries. They collect it, and also they prepare CLIL rooms inside the school. For example, in the past, when I was in high school in CLIL methodology, we are fixed in one class, the teacher changes in the classroom, and it was, it was CLIL lessons, and the mathematics teacher comes, says good morning, and the biology teacher comes, says, the class is fixed, the teacher is always changing, but in Turkey now in private schools who uses CLIL methodology, they don't change the teacher and the class, they directly go to the CLIL rooms to get the lessons there. They leave their own classes. They equip these rooms with different lessons, different CLIL methodologies, materials. Some of them also work with foreign teachers to use in CLIL methodology. For example, these schools cooperate with teachers coming from United Kingdom, from United States. They come to Turkey, they work in that school, and they use CLIL methodology to teach them English or German. And also, they use CLIL-based course books imported from foreign countries such as England and United States. This picture was taken in a private school who has just started CLIL methodology in their own school. They donate the room, they prepare, they form a very big rooms for CLIL methodology, and they take the students in this CLIL room and they do their CLIL lessons in that room, most of them with a foreign teacher. In my school, for example, now at the moment, because of the past activities, I think CLIL methodology obligation in Turkey was about 10 or 15 years, and now in my school, for example, we don't use CLIL methodology as an obligation lessons, but many of my friends, many of my colleagues still, for example, do some lessons in CLIL methodology because they are very experienced, because they were forced to teach in English, but it's not obligation now at the moment. As I stated here, CLIL is not obligatory in governmental schools. It is optional, can be used as extracurricular, no mark students. You cannot give marks. You just teach, you just give information in English, just that's all. It doesn't matter for them to give good marks or bad marks. CLIL is popular in private schools as a conclusion. In governmental schools, we have experienced teachers about CLIL because of the past activities. Some of them are still complaining about it. Every year, more governmental schools are interested in CLIL methodology, but not as an obligation, just for trying, and they do it by means of Erasmus Plus projects in Turkey now. Some schools apply for Erasmus Plus projects to practice about CLIL methodology, because CLIL methodology is one of the privileges, one of the items, one of the, how do you say, one of the main points of a project topic. If you prepare project about CLIL methodology, European Commission gives extra importance to your projects in foreign language, because. And also, if you want to involve in CLIL methodology, yes, we benefit from Erasmus Plus projects and also our private schools. Okay. It was fast. Yeah. Have you got any questions? No. It was very fast. No questions. Have you got any questions? Yes, please. Sorry. Because of the experience of the past activities, because of the past. In 19, as I stated in the presentation. Can I sit? Okay. As I stated in the presentation, in the past, it was an obligation. You don't have to, for example, you have no choices. If you are in science high school, high exam pointed, for example, you are a primary school student. After 8 years, you finish your primary school, this exam system are still alive. But after primary school, you take an exam, and if you are very successful in this exam, you go to science schools or Anatolian high schools, like my school. And then you think that you will get very good education there. And the government stated at that time, in these schools are very successful schools, let's try CLIL methodology as obligation in those schools. But you don't want to learn this kind of, because chemistry, biology, also mathematics and the physics, for students they are very important in the future for university. So, but the primary school students after exam, they are very successful, they have very good points, they want to go into science schools, but because of the CLIL methodology obligation, they escape. They don't want to go there. Because they don't want to speak English. They don't want to teach everything, learn everything in English. They want to learn them in Turkish. Okay, they give importance to English, yes. But they want to have lessons in Turkish first, then English. This was a very big discussion in Turkey. For example, if you ask me, what did you learn from chemistry and biology and physics in your high school, I can easily say to you that very little information. Because of the, yes, I was getting high marks because at that time I used to like English very much, and I helped my friends who, for example, my friend was very good at mathematics and I was very good at English. We help each other. You have no options, you know. You go to classroom and the teacher comes like British and they use their accents. Hey children, today we would like to talk about what are you talking about? You know, yes, we understand, but because, you know, this is not trying, this is something academic, you know, the books were very thick and everything in biology. In 1 year, you have to learn many things in English. Sometimes, to have English high level is not enough to learn everything, you know, in detailed. So, after big discussions, the government stopped. Okay, I change now, for example, because of the bad experiences, they don't want to force public schools to teach some lessons in English. The government says it's up to you. If you want, use CLIL methodology in your school. If you don't want, you don't have to use CLIL methodology in your school. It's up to you. Yeah, it's because of the logical, yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but yeah. For example, in Turkey, this is important. Many of the students, maybe almost all of them, have lessons in English or in German according to the university that you go. For example, yeah, we escaped from high school CLIL methodology, the students say, but they go to universities. In universities, they learn everything in English. And they have got 2 diplomas, one Turkish, one English. If you don't know English in high school, okay, you take national exam of university, you succeed, you go to a very good university, but you see that, wow, all lessons are in English. Okay, you have an alternative to go to prep class in university for 1 year, but many of students don't want to lose time. They say, 1 year, I will go to prep class, and it's a big loss for me. But we say, maybe it can be an advantage for you because you will learn English. It's optional, you know. So now the government cannot force public schools to use CLIL methodology. Only private schools use it. It's not obligation, but as I stated in the presentation, private colleges use CLIL methodology and introduce people like a new methodology and to get more students to their colleges. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry? Yes. In Turkey, because of the population, there are, sorry, hocam kaç öğrenci var Türkiye'de? 20 milyon mu öğrenci var? In Turkey now at the moment, except for universities, there are 20 millions of students now at the moment. So, which means we need more schools. Especially if you go to the east of Turkey, the population is getting higher and higher. And if you come to the west, especially our part of Turkey, the population is not so high, like in the east. 20 millions of students need more schools. Some families don't want to send their children to the public schools, and they prefer sending their students to colleges in every city, in every town in Turkey. So the destiny and the rate of private schools in Turkey is too high. For example, in our area, our population is 200,000. Our town is 200,000. There are 5 private schools in our town. I think it's high. 5 private schools. Tutto finito?
Is there any other question for Ahmed? You want to know something else about how does CLIL work in Turkey? Yes?
Also,
No.
if you want, in break times, if you see each other, you can also ask me any questions about Erasmus Plus European Commission. Yeah,
You can't.
because your projects come to us if you prepare something. Okay.
Okay. Can you leave me?
First I left, then I start.
Okay. Yes, you can. Now we have a talk with Vincenzo Filetti. There is a mistake in his Cavaliere because it is written there that he is a CLIL teacher. He isn't here as a CLIL teacher because he isn't. He is there only as a teacher who knows very well what are the learning and teaching methods in team, not in CLIL. But I think that this is the first thing we have to cope with when we talk about CLIL. What does the meaning of teaching in a different way? And so, as he is from this year with us, and he has a very long experience in that field, we thought that he should be of very help for all of us. And so I will introduce Vincenzo Filetti and his relationship about how to teach with CLIL. Thank
Thanks.
you.
So first of all, let me tell you, it's pretty exciting being here as a teacher speaking in English because I'm Italian, I'm from Syracuse, but I spent 6 years of my life between the USA and Ireland. I used to work in educational setting, can you see, and in a business environment. Let me say also what Dorothea said before about switching the mindset, the shift from teaching to something else, in this case from teaching to facilitating or coaching. It sounds familiar for me because I come from counseling background. I've been trained in counseling from a psychotherapy certified school where the client is the focus of the counseling, of the therapy. Exactly like in a classroom, the student is the focus of the lesson. So my mindset, if I can say, was biased, was brainwashed by counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists. So that's why when I moved to the USA, again, they brainwashed me. And they told me, you are not just a teacher, you are a facilitator. Here we are people, I spoke with 2 teachers, they lived in the USA, so they know what I'm saying now, right? In Virginia and in the state of New York, so you know exactly what I'm saying regarding the fact in the USA, you are not a teacher, you are a facilitator. So CLIL pedagogy entails a shift from a traditional methodology to a more communicative, participative, interactive methodology. You can see the quotation from a couple of universities in Portugal and Spain. But what does it mean on the ground? Let's be, I gotta be honest with you because I'm gonna ask you a couple of provocative questions. The shift is supposed to be a change from the teaching methodology to the learner-centered method. We can stop our presentation just here and say, that's the secret to teach not only CLIL, as they do in Germany, but to teach philosophy, Italian, mathematics, science, because you need to move from the desk, you need to move from here, and just going, have the students here. You need to use your non-verbal communication strategies and change the way you approach students. Just talking to them as they teach in the USA, as they do in Germany, as they do in counseling, watching their eyes, talking to them, let them feel highly emotionally involved. Sitting with them, exactly, sitting with them, and shaping the classroom in a different way. Not just you behind the desk and they in front of you. It's over. We are in the past. Now we are in the 21st century. Now, because I left school in 1999, I went to the USA, I worked in business, in the real world. They need people highly communicative, team workers, able to deal with German people, Russian people, Turkish people. This is not something you can do just stay behind the desk and teaching your lesson. It's all. Now the question is, how to switch to facilitating methodology? How we put boots on the ground? Abbiamo qui un insegnante che mi pare è stato a New York. If something is not clear, you can translate what I'm saying, you know, because my English is a mixture of Italian, American English, British English. Now, let me call you guys. Now, guys, let me ask you. Can you become a guitar player just reading books without any practice? Can you become a yoga instructor just reading books without any training and practice? Can you become a psychotherapist just reading books without attending any kind of training workshop? But we become teachers just reading books. And our students, they spoil us. They watch us. Oh no?
I think yes. Really, really yes. I agree at all with you.
A couple of hot words. What is facilitation? Facilitation is the process where a facilitator guides, manca una S, guides, the group members in meeting to share ideas. When you are guiding your students in sharing ideas, in different words means you are deciding to lose the power to control them and let them feel highly involved and having a sort of control. Actually, you control them without controlling them.
That's what we did.
So they supposed to reach a common goal, common. So you need to be highly diplomatic in working exactly as the teacher. Can you tell me your name, please? Lei, sì. Giovanna. as Giovanna said, sitting with them and sharing ideas. I heard a couple of words from the Spanish presentation, team working, and from the German ones, role playing. Believe me, it's not just word. I was on the ground. That's the way I used to work with my students. That's the way they are highly motivated. Because you give them time, space, you give them the power to say what they think. You don't, just teach what is democracy. Ask them what is democracy, and then you can say what Kant, Hegel said, what is democracy? And you will become a leader without leading them, obligating them, forcing them. It's going to be easy, but, there is a big but, B-A-T. Facilitators have special training in group dynamics, training, not reading books, training on the ground. Conflict resolution. A facilitator is able to communicate in a way, can reach a common goal between people having different ideas, but this is not something you can learn reading books. You need special workshops, hours, weeks, months of training.
But we got the certificate of attendance, which is really useful for
Excellent.
what the buona scuola asked us to be. Not teachers.
Let's do it.
Surely, but only are collectors of certificates of attendance courses.
Yes, in service trainings.
Excuse me. It was just a little bit brackets among what you're
Capisco
saying.
perfettamente.
Okay.
Team building, that's the typical word probably you read in many books. But I'd like to ask you, how much time and how much did you spend, quanti soldi, how much did you spend to be trained in team building? Just tell me. Quanti soldi avete speso per la formazione specifica in conflict resolution and team building? How much money?
Okay.
Somebody is supposed to translate what you say,
all'interno di un contesto in cui questo tipo di didattica non esiste. E allora io ti ringrazio perché va benissimo questa cosa, la condivido, la attuiamo pure. Però qua il problema non è che possiamo essere noi CLIL a fare il cavallo di Troia e l'avanguardia di una nuova scuola per competenze. Qua deve essere il Ministero dell'Istruzione che si deve prendere la responsabilità di cambiare la didattica.
Okay, our friend is emphasizing the fact that in our system there is some kind of bug, a virus coming from the top, all right? But I'd like to answer to your statement. We're supposed to be the school of autonomy. Just a second, my friend. We're supposed to be the school of autonomy. We're supposed to create, to design real, useful projects to train teachers, not just wasting our time in writing a couple of stuff because you have a friend in Palermo giving you the money because you can get money for your school. But from a professional point of view, I don't want to tell you how much training I did in the USA. They stress the teachers in being trained on the ground, trained, not just reading books. So I understand, but with autonomy, we can create useful projects, real projects. Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell you something else. I spent 10 years of my life in northeast of Italy. Total different system. Different. I gained experience over there working as a coach outside of the school, but inside the schools, teachers, because of autonomy, are very proactive. Because you get the tools, hai gli strumenti. What's your plan for 3 years? Training teachers to be excellent facilitators? All right, let's design this kind of training. Let's call a couple of coaches, psychologists. Let's do it. We got the tools. Not just wasting our time in doing a couple of projects, you know? That's my opinion, yes.
Do you have any school programs, individual school programs, like we do? We do have, we specialize in a lot of things. And in the school program, that is also fixed. We have counselors, we have people who take care of difficult students who are specially trained. This is done because they want to do it. They do a lot of training in their free time. But it is also fixed in the school program that says we are specialized.
Who is going to pay for those training?
There is not really money for extra training. So we have.
Avete capito? Non sono messi tanto meglio di noi, pagano loro per il loro training. Questa è una scelta loro. Ok.
Attack or whatever. So there's a lot of conflict resolution and strategic. We do team plan, of course, when we go on vacation, on a trip. Yeah, we're on school trips. We do that in year 5 when they come, when they are fresh at our school. We go with them for 1 week. Then we go again in year 7. When they enter puberty, we go in year 9, when the classes are dissolved, because in year 10, 11, and 13 they work in individual courses and not in the class.
not something you can just treat it like this. I mean, in Sicily, many people are politicians, so they know how to answer people. So that's another story, but yeah, sure. You know. All right. Okay, let's move forward. Okay. I'd like to emphasize this word, enjoy. If you feel you enjoying acting as a guide, and you feel, you know, to guide people to arrive at consensus, you feel the joy. If you feel the joy, I mean, if you feel the joy in the stomach, our second brain, as you know, Socrates said, if you feel the joy in the stomach, not in the brain, in the heart, the students can spoil you, they feel that you really like what you're doing, and then you're going to motivate them, all of them, and the rest will be easy, no? I told you at the beginning. Prego? Vero? A un corso ti dà l'opportunità di condividere con altri e forse di scoprire che altri hanno gli stessi interessi e le stesse motivazioni. In psicoterapia la condivisione è altamente terapeutica ed è in grado di reframe the way you think. Dietro tutte queste parole, behind every, statement, there is an experience and lots of training certified. Not from the Italian system. No. Let's be serious. So, I'm going to be quick. To become a facilitator, you need to be able to do some of this stuff. Just let me pick, able to pick up the body language of the group in order to assess the level of engagement. Okay, let's be quick because it's late. According to my experience, the methodological shift worked because, I don't know if you can read this part, the active learning implies a discussion, as they said as they do in Germany. It's not just reading, speaking, explaining, which is boring. And the students, it's boring. After 15 minutes, it's over. Every day for 1 year. Come on. But if you speak, all right, you explain, and then you dedicate, the rest of the time to take part in a discussion or much more in a role-playing, English teachers, they know very well role-playing is pretty strong because it's the best, probably, way to let the students learn in an easy way. Just a question, what do you think about it? Cosa ne pensate? Così quickly. Giusto, andiamo verso la fine.
Perché non vorremmo get bored, vero Marco?
Exactly.
We have to avoid this.
The killer, how much the killer? You're right. You gave us the right suggestion to conclude the seminar. Thanks. Andiamo alla fine. Saltiamo tutta la parte su Neuro-Linguistic Programming Theory. That's another seminar, another time. I'd like to conclude mentioning the Oslo summit. If you can just focus on the green line, can you see? Many poorer countries are trying to move away from teaching that relies heavily on traditional approaches such as lecturing, rote learning, repetition. Repetition is the same. And towards the use of learner-centered methods, emphasizing critical thinking, dialogue, group work, and reflection. If you don't do stuff like that, it's going to be a demanding from students. They would like to learn, not just to be taught. My final slide, just a final tip. Before starting a CLIL training, my advice, that's my advice, then you can do anything you like. It could be wise to consult a coach, an educational psychologist, a senior facilitator to invest a good amount of time to develop at least the following basic and crucial skills. Making one feel comfortable, and so on. I finished. Thanks.
Questo voleva essere solo una provocazione, l'intervento del professore Filetti, come avrete sicuramente capito. La provocazione qual era? Vediamo qual è il messaggio che abbiamo. It was only a way to take teachers think. Yes, sure.
We don't really think it's so much of a provocation as you do, because this is our everyday experience. We live like that, we teach like that. We take our students as partners who we have to train for the real world, and we make them participate in almost everything we do, apart from setting, of course, the topics for one particular lesson and how we want to do it. But even then, you have to be ready to change methods on the spot, which is what we also very often do. So feel free to take your students as partners, work with them, not against them. And whatever he said is absolutely, what we do. So, pick it up.
Anglo-Saxon. Your culture background is Anglo-Saxon. Behind the sea.
Oh, behind the scenes, okay.
Well, I would like to, since they're foreigners, it's something that I would like to tell everyone. What has been said here is so great, and I thank everyone for what has been said. But actually, I would like to say that also schools are improving, and what has been said so far is what we are trying little by little to do. Teaching and seeing a teacher as a facilitator is something that we really take into much consideration. And Jenny, belongs to my school, and this is what we really try to do. Not all of us, but many of us do, or having the idea of the student as everything, organizing everything around the idea of the student as the center of our teaching, and the teacher really being a coach is what we really love doing. And so we appreciate, and we thank you because you're really great, but we're moving forward this path. We are trying really, really hard, but maybe in one way or another, we do succeed ourselves. Okay. Okay, it's an encouragement.
Surely we know that each one of us are trying to do something to change things in our schools. Because I think that the few CLIL teachers we have in our CLIL net, they're really few if you think about what they said in their own countries. We have in the province of Syracuse, we are almost 15 CLIL teachers, more or less, but there is another point we have to take into consideration, I think. When you talked about the course you did at the university, we know very well what was that course like. So what we should think about, I think, is also the way in which the courses are organized. Because most of the times, I know very well, because I'm your references, CLIL references of the net, and I know what are the problems the teachers have faced during the courses. Caterina, Patrizia, for the new course, even university isn't really ready to do CLIL and to teach the method. So we are always, we feel, I think, we have the feeling that we are alone against that monster, which is CLIL. But it isn't. It is all a way of the mind. And we hope that this morning we have at least make you all think about it, and not at something which is really, really, really far away from us, because there are schools which are really working on this, and each step is really important for the school in which every one of you work. That's the really important thing. Today's seminars was only meant to have a look on what is CLIL around Europe, and almost to suggest the thinking about how can we change our way of teaching. It was only this. It hasn't any other aim, only this, just to think. Now, if I want to present and introduce all our Erasmus Plus students, who I think are the real protagonists of this process. So please, can you come in? Erasmus Plus students, all our Spanish, Italian, German and Turkish students, please come there. So, please, would you mind introduce yourself and where you come from? Yes, you would like. Sebbiana, are you English, Italian, French, Spanish, Turkish? You don't know. Okay? So, please, my beloved boys. Oh my God. I did something wrong.
I'm Sonia and I'm come from Germany.
I'm Laria and I'm from Italy. I'm Tamara and I'm from Italy.
I'm Francesco, I'm Italian.
My name is Vincenzo and I'm from Italy.
I'm Antonio and I'm from Italy.
I'm Filippo and I'm from Italy. I'm Giuseppe, I'm from Italy.
I'm Antonino and I'm from Italy.
I'm Sebiana and I'm Italian.
I'm Elif, I'm from Turkey.
I'm Kira, I'm from Germany.
I'm Franzi, I'm from Germany too.
I'm Juliana and I'm from Germany.
Chi se face proprio è tedesco di razza.
I'm Giuseppe and I'm from Italy.
Ma no. German. You aren't from Italy. She is Spanish.
I'm Greta, I'm Spanish. I'm Italian.
Mehmet Gedük from Turkey.
You don't have to look at now the because I have smashato everything.
I'm Javi and I'm from Spain.
I'm Francesca and I'm from Italy.
My name is Esperanza and I'm from Spain.
I'm Denise and I'm from Spain.
I'm Dora, I'm from Turkey.
I am Umut and I am from Turkey. I am İlbey, I am from Turkey.
I am İpek, I am from Turkey.
I'm Laura, I'm from Italy.
I am Valerio and I am from Italy.
I'm Carmen and I'm from Spain.
I'm Ismael and I am from Spain.
I'm Erika and I'm Italian.
I'm Violeta and I'm from Spain.
I'm Helen and I'm from Germany.
I'm Chantal and I'm from Germany.
I'm Chiara, I'm from Italy.
I'm Martina and I'm from Italy.
Is there any among you who wants to say something about this Erasmus Plus experience? Francesca. A volunteer.
Hello, I'm Francesca, I say, and I think the Erasmus experience is great because I knew a lot of people and I made a lot of friends, and I think the CLIL methodology is also good for the teacher, that and they made a great effort for us. Yeah. Thank you everyone.
Javier. You want to say something?
Okay. Hi, I'm Javi. I come from Spain, and I'm very happy because I think this experience is very good for us. We meet people from other countries, we know different cultures, and we find people that are very good, and we're new friends. So I really like it.
Now we will hear the German student talk about her experience in Sicily and with Erasmus Plus too.
I think the Erasmus experience are very good because I'm getting to know so many funny and interesting people in other countries and their culture, and I also think that it's interesting, these new informations. For example, in Italy they eat more than in Germany and it's pretty delicious. I think it's so many things, and I think ice cream is the best. But also there was in Germany, and it was fun and everything. It was fun, informations, and I think that's make it good. So,
thank you very much. Noi volevamo salutarci proprio con loro, perché pensiamo che siano loro che abbiamo parlato oggi, perché in fondo è per consentire ai nostri ragazzi di affrontare l'Europa e il mondo in maniera più semplice possibile. Per cui io penso che il modo più bello è quello di salutarli con un applauso
We are ready. Vergogna, professoressa d'inglese. Una vergogna di prima. So, from headmaster to headmaster.
In the name of today, our headmaster wants to give you a head. As you know, in Turkey, our desserts are totally different kinds of desserts are there. Baklava or something like that. And we prepare also to all world lokimi. You know lokumi? No. It's Turkish, you know.
We will eat surely.
Yeah, sure. If you are not on diet, you can easily eat it, no problem. So we would like to give as the memory of today, and I will take a photo. Yeah.